So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jink from Zero Base. On a schedule, you will see Mira. It's our founder, but he didn't make it. The visa got postponed. So, nice to meet you guys. And on the agenda, you will see how do we build privacy and also security into staking protocols. Can everybody hear me clearly? Okay, great. So this is Zero Base, the cryptographic trust layer for global finance. And today, my TLDR will be build zk apps, share secrets. So yeah, I know Sylph and also Hailey for quite a long time. And I think we have enough people to build zk infra. It was last year in Brussels, ECC 7. And I might say maybe the tech is not around there. But today for TLDR, I think we are more facing with zk consumer apps, retail facing, and what kind of product mind we should have. So for staking protocols, the elephants in the room are where does the yield come from? And who's losing money? Also with what risks users are facing. Okay, so about zk. I think zk is one of the most powerful technologies in crypto. Yeah, most users have never used it, not directly, not knowingly. I mean, the previous questions was, have you built zk on yourself? Or I think the question is not that hard for the developers and the builders these days because we have zk VMs. You can just write all the codes in Rust and put it into a VM and it will auto compile it for you. But even though we take a different approach, Zero Base built our generic circuits with domain-specific languages rather than building another zk VM. But still, nobody is actually knowing that why I'm using zk. Because from day one, we never really designed zk applications. We designed zk systems, zk VMs, zk proofs, zk circuits, but we never asked, what does a zero knowledge feel like to the user? What a zk UX is going to look like? And also, zk got trapped in the back end. It became something abstract, invisible, untouchable. I would say unprovable because nobody is actually using it. So, I mean, not everything is actually tech and mathematics, even though I keep it in my bio. I'm into cryptographic, not cryptocurrency. But still, on the social layer, on the consensus layer, I think on average, a blockchain user didn't really know what kind of zk interactions they are doing. So, I think these are the people that was meant to empower. And let's check the reality check. Okay, so infra isn't the problem. I mean, I updated my keynotes as well because zk is developing so fast. Right now, you have the end game. I mean, Self just talked about the end game, right? And I mean, I think people didn't really get what the end game really means. So why real-time proving and also latency really matters is because on blockchain, you don't really have a timer yet. I mean, there is a reality time, and on Ethereum, actually, people are using block heights for it. And for average block heights, it's on average 12 seconds. So if you can make the zk proof generated under 12 seconds, then that actually means real-time proving. And yeah, I put the graphs here because I think those teams are doing great jobs. On average, the proving latency is about 9 seconds. You can see that if we took a year before, it actually takes you 2 minutes to do it. So we have hundreds of gigabrains, millions of dollars, focusing on making proofs faster, cheaper, and easier. The end game, aka real-time proving, is just around the corner. But still leaving the question, how's the UX gonna be like? And I, not working as a Zero Base, more on a crypto enthusiast, how do I interact with a zk protocol? So I think this is an unpopular take is that privacy actually means transparency. So even till now, like all the infra is there or is being developing. In year 2025, privacy is still treated as a secondary demand. The industry spends millions of dollars building an XYZ product and then adds privacy to the XYZ product as an afterthought. Like privacy is kind of like an add-on. Let's say, okay, so now I have Prexa, I have 7702, and how do I put privacy on top of it? How do I change the owner address without really revealing who is interacting with them? And I think the meta here, or like mentioned, Hibachi, and there are a lot of like zkCLOBs that is like zkify the whole order book to put it on chain. But still, those are secondary demands. We already have a on-chain perp DEX that is fully transparent, and then we would like to like explore on how we turn a fully transparent thing into a more private, more shielded states. So we have built DEXs, voting systems, identity systems, provers, and verifier to make sure that Alice is telling the truth to Bob without Bob knowing the whole thing. But only later we ask, what does Alice want to say, right? So zk actually introduced the prover and also verifier to make sure that the whole message actually goes through. It's kind of like a magical messenger for you, for Alice to really talk to Bob. But real privacy is not a feature. It's a structural precondition for trust, and zk gave us a way to bake it into the system from the start. So without zk, Alice never want to talk to Bob. zk isn't just about hiding, it's about sharing without leaking. And that sharing, when verifiable, creates efficiency, coordination, and also trustless UX. Obfuscation is transparency. So what I really mean is, if Alice just want to keep a secret and never share it to Bob, possibly zk is not the tag you want to use, right? So let's say Alice got a AI model or something, and never gonna share it with a third party, then she can just local host it, and nobody actually gets access to it. Then you never need zk. And if you are only interacting with a server, let's say, okay, I want a server to send me an email on what actually is happening in the crypto industry overnight, then you can just set up a TEE rather than using a zk, because if you trust the TEE, I mean, this is a TEE and I trust it. It shows my body and I use it. So with zk, what underneath is that a secret that needs to be shared. Okay, so yeah, this is our product called zero-based staking or zkStaking, and this is the overall architecture about it. So the user actually stakes stablecoins, USDCs and USDTs to our staking protocol, and then we use a custody to put it into the centralized exchanges to do arbitrages, funding rates, and also cross-exchange arbitrages. We are live on Binance, Bybit, and also Hyperliquid. But this is like how we generate the yields, but also why do we need that fund and why user to stake that into the network? It is because the funds actually bootstrap our security, and the proven network generating zk proofs in real time to make sure that all the yields that generated are verifiable and auditable. So the zk staking protocol actually maintains key features, and we have third-party verifiers to check in the zk risk and neutral proofs. So yeah, zk staking uses zk proofs to validate the arbitrage risk, ensuring the optimal CeFi staking strategies. If risk and neutrality is breached, users get real-time alerts. I will get to that later. So now let's say, in this case, Alice is actually running the strategies. So what actually Alice wanted to share is the outcome of knowing that secret, the secret sauce, the magical weapon that makes you money. And what we are actually asking under the hood is the maximum leverage rate Is it smaller than 300% in total? We use zk range proofs. And are you trading the whitelist trading pairs? And also, like, what is the biggest drawback or say drawdown? Is it less than 5%? So these are the questions we are asking Alice to share with us. But you want to make sure that you are actually asking the right questions rather than, sorry, which pair are you trading? I want to know exactly what you do. This is the magic of zk proofs. So here comes Bob, and here comes the 3 elephants in the room once again. Where does the yield come from? Who's losing money? And what risks users are facing? So the yield actually comes from inefficiencies. I would say we focus so much on infra, and we create so many markets for people to actually trade. But the more markets we created, the more fragmentation we have, which means the more inefficiency the market have. But these strategies are actually being, I would say, farmed or say being adopted by institutional hedge funds for a long time, like even before crypto. But still, it's not open doors to a retail user. In this case, it's actually Alice doesn't want to share the secret with Bob. So with zk, we actually make sure that Alex is telling the truth and Bob didn't know. And even us, as the third-party proof generator, we don't know what Alice is actually doing. So we use zk to open access, letting any user to participate the verifiable safety. And second, there is no direct counterparty because it isn't a trade. It's not subjective. It is actually depends on the inefficiency and also the fragmentation of liquidity on the market. So yeah, I would say there definitely somebody can make better choices to holding a position in other markets, in other exchanges, I would say, with funding rates and other circumstances. But overall, people do their choices, and the inefficiency, the glitch between those centralized exchanges is being hatched by our protocol and also being verifiable and also auditable using our zk proofs. Moreover, we're building towards a future that without hidden risks. Of course, like I said, not everything is math or tech. So even though the proof are actually secured and also verifiable through zk proofs, but on the other hand, you always have single point failures. Like say, what if the centralized exchanges went bad? Right. So we chose 3 centralized exchanges for a reason. Like they come back, they are battle tested, and we chose them. I do have a crazy idea is that given we have so many on-chain or say decentralized perp DEX right now, I might have a list of them. So if we are doing cross-exchange arbitrages on-chain perp DEX, is it really makes it DeFi? So I think through proofs and also without promises, we are creating a new DeFi sector, which is bridging through, or say, alleviating the fragmentation through all these on-chain permissionless perp stacks. So moving on next is like how Bob really know what actually Alice already told them. So here's our proof scanner. And this is literally the UX, I think. I really love one of the stuff that ENS guys have been pushing for a long time is that you cannot just make languages through programming languages. You want to make sure that the information you are giving away is actually human digestible. By digestible, I mean efficiency. People don't really want to go through our circuits, go through our proofs, is everything correct? And not all the people are capable of this. So by digestible information, we have this very minimal, I would say, proof scanner that tells you the hash, and also you can have the verifier after that. And if you click on, you will have a UX to tell you if the verification goes through. And we already generated 4 million proofs in 12 months, and also like accounted for a lot of like third-party verifier proofs, I would say, and generate the revenue from stablecoin arbitraging and from our zk products. So yeah, this is about to go live in next month, and this is a sneak peek of it. So what if there is a messenger between? Because you always have validators nodes, and we are building another like a proxy or a relayer to make sure that even though kind of like a zk RPC, so nobody really knows where the zk proofs are sent to the verifier through zero-based prover network. So the last thing I want to mention about is how we design zk consumer apps. This is a Swiss cheese model for zk use cases, I think, and that actually comes from a normie, like a non-crypto user. So first I need a wallet, and then after I have a wallet, I need some money. So maybe I need to do a KYC, or I just on-ramp from a centralized exchange. Okay, so now I have my wallet and also my funds. I want to put it into DeFi to play around with it. So there might be like dark pools, zkCEX, zkDEX, and also zkStaking protocol on top of it. There will be like composabilities and modular stuff running on. And enough about money. I want to do SocialFi. I want to do GameFi. Like some people in the room might also be from fully on-chain games and also verifiable games sector. We are in the trenches. So these are the stuff that how zk can empower the UI and the UX, the user journey. And last but not least, zk AI, of course, because I have my own intelligence, I have my model, and I still need to share it with somebody else. So I think that's it. And open to questions.